Square Maths Made Easy Academy. Don't forget in my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share. And don't forget to comment. I am still talking about the face of trigonometry, still trigonometry 1. I want you to observe this question also. Now watch this. Now the question number 1 says, if theta is an acute angle, underline the word acute. If theta is an acute angle and say theta is 2, then the question now says, then cosec, don't forget this in my last video, then cosec theta is dash. I want you to observe this. Let's take it one after the other. Now you should know that the word acute angle is the question. Now what is an acute angle? I want you to know that an acute angle is that angle that is greater than 0. That is greater than what? 0, but less than what? 90 degree. Less than what? 90 degree. I said an acute angle is an angle that is greater than what? 0, but less than what? 90 degree. And that is what it's talking about. So simply means that when you see this angle, it means that it is in first quadrant. And in first quadrant, all are what? Positive. All are what? Positive. Now let us look at the question and look up. Oh my goodness. Now the question says this. Look up. Sec what? Theta. Sec theta is what? 2. Now don't forget what I have said. You exempt the first letter, exempt the second letter. Now the third letter tells you what to do, and that is C, and C means what? Cos. So which means the sec theta inverse is 1 all over what? Cos theta. Now we consider it as 2 and introduce over 1. Now the next thing you are going to do is to cross multiply. If I multiply cos theta times 2, it will give me 2 what? Cos theta. Are you there now? Then equal to 1 times 1 will give me what? 1. My target is to make cos theta subject of what? Formula, and equally find the value of what? Theta, which is the angle. So what do? Divide by the coefficient. Divide here by 2. Divide here by what? 2. Oh my goodness, 2 have cancelled 2, right? So which means cos theta is given as 1 over 2. Are you with me now? My target is to make theta subject of the formula. What do I say? Theta now becomes what? Cos inverse of what? 1 over 2. Don't be in a hurry. I want you to just relax your mind and observe this. Now, what do? I don't know calculator. I don't know 4-figure table. I want to solve it. We call it a special what? Angle. You now draw a right angle what? Triangle. Are you there? This is a right angle triangle. This is 60 degrees. And this is what? 30 what? Degrees. This is constant, which is 3. This is constant, which is 1. This is constant, which is what? 2. With this, I can generate this. We remember we are looking at cos. Are you there now? And cos that can give us 1 over 2 lies on 30 degrees. Lies on what? 30 degrees. Now, if there is 30 degrees, it means that this is opposite. Are you there? And this should be what? Adjacent. Where the longest side should be what? Hypotenuse. But if here is 60 degrees, don't forget that here should be opposite. Here should be what? Adjacent. And this one still remain what? Hypotenuse. Wow. So what am I trying to do here? I want you to watch. I will now use cos 30 degrees. Are you there? Remember, cos is adjacent all over what? Hypotenuse. Then I move ahead. The adjacent is given. What is adjacent? So 3. Then all over. What is hypotenuse? Hypotenuse is what? 2. Are you with me now? Then if I continue, now my target is to make 30 subject of the formula. Can I say 30 degrees should now be what? Cos inverse of what? Sod what? 3 all over what? Sod what? 3 all over what? 2. Now watch this now. Can you see that this thing did not work like this? Because what we are examining now, look up, is to see whether this thing will correspond with what? This. So which means I will change my narrative. Am I communicating now? I will change what? My narrative. So it will now relate with what we call 60 what? Degrees. I know why I did this, so that you should examine what you are looking for. Then I will clean it again. Watch. If you clean it now, what do? I will now try to get the one of 60 what? Degree. Use this very particular one now. Now, do you know that if I'm using 60 degree now, the direction will change, right? This is 60. We call this opposite. Wow. And we call this what? Adjacent. Then the longest side is what? Hypotenuse. Now we are now moving. We are looking for cos. I will now generate cos 60 degree. Cos is adjacent. Are you there? All over what? Hypotenuse. Then watch. Adjacent is what? 1. Why hypotenuse is what? 2. Make 60 subject of the formula. Can I say 60 degrees is now what? Cos inverse of 1 over 2. Are you there? Can you see that this one and this one is the same. So which means theta already we have gotten it as what? 60 what degrees. Are you with me now? Now if you have gotten the value of theta, what are we looking for? Oh my goodness, watch. The question say cosec what theta. What did I say? Cosec what theta. Let us solve it now. What is cosec theta? Don't forget. So I will now continue. The question says we should find cosec what theta. And I told you one thing here under cosec. Now exempt the first letter, exempt the second letter, and make use of the third what? Letter. And the third letter is what? S. So which means the inverse of cosec is 1 over what? Sine. 1 over what? Sine theta. Am I communicating? And don't forget that theta is already known. What is theta? Theta is 60 what degrees. We've solved it already. So if theta is 60 degree, can I say now watch? Cosec what? 60 degree is now equal to 1 all over what? Sine what? 60 degree. It is also a special what? Angle. Now let's draw again. I want you to observe this. How do we generate 60 degree? See, draw a right angle what? Triangle. This is 60 degree. This is what? So 3. This is what? 2. And this is what? 1. Are you with me now? Now, if you observe this now, 60, if here is 60, this is opposite. This is what? Opposite. This is what? Hypotenuse. Oh my goodness. And this is what? Adjacent. Did you understand? Now, if that is the case, I will now go back to this. Say by cos what? Cosec what? 60 degree is now 1 over. What is sine? Sine is opposite all over what? Hypotenuse. Are you with me now? So we don't even need to do that. Then watch this now. Take it up now. It becomes hypotenuse, but we have to do it so that it will become more easier for us. Hypotenuse all over what? Opposite. Something is about to what? Happen. Now watch. What is the value of hypotenuse? Hypotenuse, oh my goodness. What is hypotenuse? Hypotenuse is what? 2. Then all over opposite. What is opposite? Sod what? 3. Am I communicating now? Remember that the angle falls on the first what? Quadrant. And everything about first quadrant is positive. I will stop here. The answer now, of course, a 60 degree is 2 over what? Sod 3. Let's check the option. Oh, it can never be this. Wow. No. It can never be what this. It can't never. Oh my goodness. Look at it here. The correct answer is option what? D. So this is option what? D. And that is the what? Answer. So having satisfied the first question, can we quickly move to the second what? Question. Now watch this. Let's move to the second question. Now, the second question, which is number 2. I want you to also be careful here. Now, remember that, look up. The question says the solution of 2 cos x plus 1 is what? 0. 0. For x is a member. For x is what? A member. Now, when you observe this thing that is represented like block means that 0 is a member. And also, pi is also what? A member. Don't forget that pi is 180 degrees. But if I have it like this, there is a difference. Look at it here now. If I have bracket here and I have pi here, what does it imply? This thing bracket means open boundary. Open what? Boundary. And the word open boundary simply means those elements that contain inside does not exist. Am I communicating? You start with elements that are not here. But this particular one, we call it closed boundary. We call it what? Closed boundary. And it has a range. It is between 0 and what? Pi. So this is a member. 0 is a member. 180 is what? A member. And what does it imply? I want you to observe something here. Very simple. Now watch this. This particular x is a member of block 0, pi simply means this. Watch. That x is greater or equal to 0. That word block means it is a member. So use equal to. Then less than or equal to 180 degrees. This particular thing and this particular expression, they are what? The same. Do you know why? 0 is a member. Pi is a member. Use equal to. Use equal to. But when I examine something like this, x is a member and you see bracket 0, you see pi and bracket again, it is not a member. It is not what? A member. How do we make it interval? I will now say x is greater than 0 and less than what? 180. This one is called an open boundary. While this one is called a closed what? Boundary. When I'll be taking you on inequality, you'll be seeing a series of this. We have open, close, and a test area. So let's continue now. What is the question? Don't forget that the question says 2 cos what? X plus 1 is equal to what? 0. Make cos x subject of the formula. Collection of like terms. I will have 2 cos what? X Take plus 1 to the right. It will give you what? Minus 1. Now, what is that now? Make cos x subject of the formula. Divide this by 2. Divide this by what? 2. 2 down, we cancel 2 up. So what is remaining now? Cos what? X is now equal to minus 1 over 2. Our target is to make x subject of the formula. So my x will now be cos what? Inverse of what? Minus 1 over 2. Are you there now? Now I want you to observe something here. Anytime that cos constitutes a negative, that negative is irrelevant. Do you know why? According to function, cos in a graph is an even function. It's what? An even function. And anything that has to do with an even function does not exist in the negative word form. It's always what? Positive. One thing I want you to note is, don't forget. What did I say? Don't what? Forget. If you are given sine of minus theta, I can recall it something as minus sine theta. Minus what? Sine theta. Then which means if you are given tan of what? Minus theta, I can still call it minus tan what? Theta. Do you know why? This particular tool is called an odd function. The reason is because in a graph, there is always change in the value of the domain. I'll still talk about calculus when we're discussing about function and thereabouts and what have you. Then what am I trying to talk about again? Watch, that particular cos theta now of minus theta, cos of minus theta, this thing can never be minus again. It is still the same thing as cos what? Theta. Have I made myself clear? Now this particular expression is called an even function. Why is it called an even function? There is no change in the value of the domain of what? A function. I will explain it when I'll be talking about function as a topic. Are you with me now? Then let's continue. Do you know that this x now that we consider as cos inverse of minus 1 is something as cos inverse of 1 over 2? Am I communicating? Then what do we do? Remember what I told you, just negate the minus. What do? We now consider this our table again. This table is always unique. What did I say? Always what? Unique. Oh my goodness, call this x. Call this what? 60 degrees. Call this what? 30 degrees. This is 3, this is 2, and this is what? 1. Can you observe something here? How do? We're looking for cos, right? Cos is what? Adjacent over what? Hypotenuse. So I will use 60 degrees and say cos 60 degrees is what? Adjacent all over what? Hypotenuse. Are you there now? Then what is the value of adjacent? Adjacent is 1. Oh my goodness. And hypotenuse is what? 2. Now I want you to observe this now. What is our target? Our target is to correspond this with this. Are you there? Make cos subject, make 60 degrees subject of the word formula. I can now say 60 degree is now equal to cos inverse of what? 1 over 2. Wow. Can you see it has reflected here? This is cos inverse of 1 over 2. This is cos inverse of 1 over 2. This is x. And this is what? 60 degrees. It means that x here now is what? 60 what? Degrees. Now what are we actually looking for? It is already 60 degrees. We have gotten it. Now, and don't forget that what happens here, look at it everyone. Look at what we mean. It falls on second what? Quadrant. Second what? Quadrant. Are you with me now? And we are looking for one particular problem now. And what is that? Watch. So how do we convert this 60 degrees now? We now say pi rad, don't forget the formula, is always 180 degrees. We are looking for radian. Call it what? X. Then this one is already given as 60 what? Degrees. Now let us continue. Our target is to make x subject of the formula. Let me use y so that it will not correspond with that one we saw before. Cross what? Multiply. Y times 180 is 180 degrees y. Then equal to pi rad times 60 is 60 pi what? 60 degree pi what? Rad. Make y subject. Divide by 180. Divide by what? 180 degrees. Are you with me? This gentleman will cancel this gentleman. I have made y subject of the formula. My y is now equal to, let's divide. This 0 will cancel this 0. This degree will cancel this degree. Oh my goodness. 6 can go to itself to give you what? 1. 6 can go into 18 to give us what? 3. So which means the answer is pi all over 3 what? Rad. Are you with me now? Now let's just check from the option. Is there anything like that? Remember that it started with 0 and moved to 180. So which means it falls on first quadrant also falls on second quadrant. And one of the values of x that we call here is 60 degree. And finally, we would have said it's 60 degree, but they converted the answer into what? Radian. That is why we apply this. Are you with me now? Finally, y in radians, which means 60 degree in radian, is what? Pi over 3. Now let's go to the option. Is it pi over 3? No. Oh my goodness. What did I say? Oh my goodness. Now what? The correct answer in the option is option what? B. See you in my next video. Thank you very much.